Your dinner's ready. This video is going to go over a couple of topics, and this video is designed for you to watch whilst Destiny 2 is in maintenance mode, and I'm going to fill you with a couple of information or valuable information to take away, and what things you can do at reset, because there's going to be some massive portal changes and some currencies removed, etc. today. So I'm going to cover it topic by topic. Let's take it from the top. Unstable cores are going to get abolished in the future, and Bungie's going to gift you 777,000 unstable cores for free via a chest pickup. That chest pickup will also contain 300 power items for players that are below that power, and players above that power will also get a power bump from that gear as well. We don't know what that will be, but we will, as far as what they said. Now then, don't make this massive error that you could make. The unstable core count max is 1 million. Unless they up the count today, but I doubt they will. It's 1 million. So say, for example, I have 500,000 unstable cores and I go and pick up the free cash grab. I could lose 250,000 cores there. Now, the cores might go to the postmaster and they might not. So what I'm trying to explain to you is, make sure that your cores are less than 200,000 or so before you pick it up. In my opinion, you'd be better off just blowing through the cores that you have and then pick up the 777. Don't make that error, and I'm guaranteeing you that today some noob, some blueberry is going to do that and he's going to lose all his cores. I'm warning you now. I'm giving you a heads up. Okay, and then the next thing is armor set infusions. You can do it for free. The only thing is it takes a bit of work and it is a nuisance. It's a bad system, but I'm telling you it. So, for example, if you're wearing a full set of TechSec and you're soloing on solo ops, if you keep getting TechSec armor, you can keep infusing it for glimmer, and that's been a mechanic since day one, and people have abused that. Not abused it, but you know what I'm saying. The problem is, if you want to experiment and you're using Bush Idol, you're using Smoke Jumper, you're using Ion Adapter, that's not going to work, and you're going to spend cores. So that you've got to work with the system, not against it, basically, which is how it is. So what I'm saying to you is, you may as well start farming for the set that is actually important, and this is going to solo gameplay. The most important sets for solo are as follows. Smoke Jump Armor Piece 2 set. The 4 piece is not worth it, the 2 pieces for damage resistance. You want DR, the game is all about damage resistance. You pair that with another damage resistance set called Ion Adapter. This is well worth you getting. Mythic Kepler quests got nerfed. You can easily do those quests now and get Ion Adapter armor pieces. Once you've got that quest complete, you can go to the Kepler loot cave and farm this. This gives damage resistance on rocket, GL and micro missile damage. And you're going to say, well, I'm not using a rocket, I'm not using a GL. No, you are using a rocket. No. You're using a rocket. Don't lie to me. What do you think Mint Retrograde is, lads? It isn't a primary. Some of you think it is. Micro missile frame, it's there for you in writing. This will give you DR with Mint, and everybody uses Mint. So do you see now why the Ion Adapter, it's an incredible set. Problem is, you've got to farm it outside of the portal, and it gives you no power bumps. Bungie, yet again, they mess up. Why was the Kepler not in the portal? Then it would have made sense, right? You just pop it here, Kepler, boom. But anyways, I'm telling you what the best sets are, and that you can infuse for armor. Now, the Smoke Jump and TechSec armor comes from Fireteam Ops and Solo Ops. Pinnacle Ops has Bushido set, which is good, but it's not as good as Smoke Jump. Bushido has been, I think, power crept slightly. It's good and all, but there's better sets. Take it from me. There's better sets than Bushido. Bushido's a little overrated. Not only that, Pinnacle Ops farming's going to be a bit worse after this change today, which I'm going to come on to next. After today, there's going to be a double-edged buff and nerf at the same time. Don't listen to everybody tells you. I'm going to tell you it in plain writing right now on what's happening. Right now, to get from 500 power to 550 power is kind of hell, because you only get +1 drops. So let me show you it. So I'm 527, look. To get my gear, I get +1 drops on clears, which is only 528. I would need every single piece to be 528 to go up a power level. After today's change, all drops will be +2 for me in my power bracket, making power leveling more than double effective than what it is now, because there'll be less bumps. There'll be less bumps and more powerful rewards. If you are lower than 500 power, which is most of you, you're going to get +3 drops, +4 drops, and all this sort of stuff. You will fly up. However, the double-edged sword is that right now we can farm at power, and after today's reset you cannot farm at power and you'll be underleveled. This will present some problems, but it's nowhere near as bad as what you think. Let me explain it for the solo basis, and then I'll explain it for the Fireteam basis. If you're solo at reset and you're like, boom, I'm -30 delta, I'm ultimate content, what do? If you try to farm Nightmare Agaran at -30, you'll be humbled, because here's the problem with ultimate content underleveled, is that all the bosses are tanky. So the power of Nightmare Agaran was to kill him in one phase. And I showed you how you could do that over and over with many, many different loadouts. That's not going to be as possible as what it was. It's technically probably still possible. If we do some boon stacking at reset and there's some godly boons, it's possible. But then you're relying on RNG. So solo farm and pinnacle ops is going to be objectively worse on all of them, right? It's just going to be worse. I mean, Whisper, you'll get away with Whisper. We're getting 4 drops there for Whisper, because it's 1 completion reward, and the bonus drops are going to change to powerful rewards, meaning that you're going to fly up because of that, which comes on the next point. So if you're solo, simply the easiest way will be solo ops, because solo ops is getting a massive buff today, because you with the bonus drops. So if I do Caldera, I'm going to get 4 powerfuls, 4 +2s today. Do you realize how much 4 +2s is? Compared to what I'm getting now, that's huge, just for Caldera. So that's going to be good. You're going to oscillate between all your activities and do all bonus drops. You're looking for bonus drops. Doing the seasonal hub triumphs will give you even more bonus drops. You need to do this stuff. Yeah? That's going to be the power leveling, is that you're going to, for solo at least, you're going to jump where all the green engrams are. Now then, if you're going to try and solo in Fireteam ops, just do matchmaking. Because soloing at -30 delta isn't really going to be quick farming, right? Whereas if you just do matchmake and reclaim, if it's up, that's if it's up. If you do matchmake and reclaim, Cabal's Watch, which is the quickest one, although you could do the other ones, like say for example today we do this, that's 6 drops for 1 match-made conductor's keep, all powerfuls. So Fireteam matchmaking ops is going to be incredibly useful today. So Fireteam farming is going to be better than what it was. Solo farming is going to be worse, but you're just going to go back to doing solo ops, because -30 delta doing Caldera is no problem. It will take you 5-6 minutes to do that. Whereas if you try and solo farm Nightmare Agaran, it's going to take 10, 12, 14 minutes probably, because you need to 2-cycle Galran. That's not going to be worth it on the solo basis. So you will go back to just doing what we used to do a few months ago, which is just solo ops and doing the bonus engrams. But Fireteam farming is going to be much more efficient, so I highly recommend you do a bit of this. But remember, I'm very stubborn. I'll end up finding some solo farms. Everything is questionable and up for debate until we see the mods. We need to see the mods, because the mod scoring system is probably going to be different as well. And that comes to the next thing. So when you're picking challenge mods, you need to get this philosophy into you. Always pick the lesser evil. What do we mean by the lesser evil? So when you're picking your mods, don't be picking deadly threats. You have the choice. I would recommend don't go much more further than difficult solo threat. Don't be picking deadly solo threat. For example, chill touch. If you're on a melee based build, don't run chill touch. They stop you from sliding. No good. Counterfeit's okay, and it's a mod that's a lesser evil. So it isn't evil. Counterfeit's evil, but it's only a little bit evil. Whereas chill touch is more of an evil if you're on. Now, chill touch is fine if you're playing from range, because it's not affecting your gameplay. Right? So it depends on your build, right? You got to think about it. Total Force can be annoying, but it's a lesser evil. It's fine to run it. However, if you need to get precision kills and all the ads are invisible, it's no good. Arachno, that's not bad of a mod, but again it will affect melee builds, but it's a lesser evil. Hot Knife's a good one, because if you're running a solar primary, it's a non-factor. You should try to avoid grounded and slow and small at all costs. Slow and small's a terrible mod. Grounded's quite a bad one as well. Lightning Crystals trade-off's a very good one, and if you are on Arc and Stasis, you get massive benefits. You take more damage, but it's not that much more. Ashes to Ashes trade-off, I never use this one, because if you are up against Vex and Cabal, they scorch you heavily. At minus 30, that's not ideal. Match game is fine, providing that you've got something to break shields. So if you are just doing Caldera, match game's fine to pop on. Depending on what rotation it is, it's actually fine to use it, but it really does depend. If there's like lots of shields and you haven't got the elements to take them shields down, it's bad. Now these are good. Your hunger mods are very good. Say for example, Solar Hunger's up. That's great for your Warlocks. It's great for Solar Hammers. Famine mods are also okay in Lost Sectors. Soul Ops, they're fine, but in Pinnacle and Fireteam Ops, they're not fine, because Pinnacle Ops and Fireteam Ops requires more out of you, whereas Soul Ops requires less, and you get ammo bricks for free. So heavy ammo famines, special ammo famines are fine to actually use. The anti-surges are very good as well. If you're not using an element that it says, you can use them. So there you go, you've had your challenge modifiers. So the general takeaway is, use the lesser evil. Use the lesser evil. Then we come to the next one. If you're playing ultimate content, try to use Pressure Cooker. On Solo Ops, it's very easy. The time is very nice, and you get so much multiplier because of it. When you're using this, try and use Equipment Locked or Touche. Sometimes you can play Cracked and use something else. It's very rare that we do these, but you can sometimes. But generally speaking, using Equipment Locked, we will see what the score multiplier will be. I always use No Radar. I never use No HUD. I hate it. Although No HUD is not a problem in Solo Ops, I must admit. So if you're on certain builds, No HUD can be doable. On Solo Ops, yes. Pinnacle Ops, Fireteam Ops, no. Right, no starting ammo's good. For Solo Op farming, it's good, because you get ammo bricks. Now then, Brawn is a secret. If you do use Brawn, then use a health build to counter it, and you'll be very tanky at minus 30 delta. Brawn is very good. So I recommend try and use some health kits, health builds on all characters to counter Brawn, and it works in your favour. Brawn works in your favour. You need to realise that I've been abusing Brawn since July. Yeah? And I think a lot of you look at Brawn and shy away from it, but you shouldn't. Now then, this is a hot topic. I use Extinction Revives because I know I'm going to solo Flawless Solo Ops anyways, so I'm happy to run it. We will see the score multiplier today, but honestly, the thing about Extinction Revives, it's not very good in Fireteam gameplay, because if someone does die, then they're dead, that's it. So this is more for solo players, and it's not a hard one. Like if we can solo Flawless Caldera very easily, right? But if we don't need to pop it on, we will just use limited revives. Will depend on the score. The Pressure Cooker will get 15% buff. So remember, when you work and reward score forecasts out to actual scores, get a calculator out and add 15% on top of your reward score to 1.6. So if we take 1.37, this is not going to get me A grade scoring. It's not going to get me A grade scoring. Do you see that? 15% of 1.37 isn't going to get me 1.6. So do you see now? So make sure that you're looking at this screen a lot so you can get your A grade scorings. And finally, if you can calculate a boon in there, from time to time you should be using boons like Fury, Heavyweight, Brawler, Grenadier. If the score allows for it, use them. Do a quick calculation if you're allowed. If the farm warrants it at reset, pop it on. If Heavyweight's up, pop it on. Like, you can allow for one boon, right? Everybody's got individual metrics and power levels, but you can calculate that with the 15% rule like I've taught you. So that's the tips on that. Follow where the green engrams are. Solo should be sticking to Solo Ops. Fireteam is going to be very valuable for Reclaim. You get the Smoke Jumper armor set, which is superior, in my opinion, to Bushido from Pinnacle Ops. Onslaught's going to be a bit of a problem, I think. I mean, you're going to get 7 clears, but it's going to be Pinnacle Ops and your minus 30 delta. So I just don't think it's going to be worth it. We'll have to see how it plays out. So that's that. Now we come on to stuff today. Spend your telemetry mats. Spend them before reset. I don't know if this is going to carry over until the next one. I don't know that information, but I recommend you just expires at the end of Arms Week, it says here. So I would just spend them today. Don't take no risks. Don't take no risks. Just spend. Spend at Ada 1 and try and get the combat bow. The combat bow is probably one of the rarest weapons in the game. Subversion, right? Now, this is very rare weapon. Now then, if you get it at tier 4 or even tier 3, don't delete it. Yeah, if you've got a particular role on it and you want to test it, then keep it, because in Renegades, you can upgrade tier 1, 2, 3, 4 to upgradable tiers in Renegades. So pre-prep yourself for Renegades and do yourself a favour and save a lot of submersion rolls, because there's more testing to be done with this combat bow, in my opinion. There's more tests to be done, at least on my side of things. If you've done your tests, then that's fair play. Ada 1 does give you this weapon. I've had it to you. I've got 4 rolls on this. 4 or 5 rolls or something. And 4 of those rolls came from Ada 1. 1 roll come from PvP. So just remember about submersion. Spend your mats. That comes on to the next thing that I should have said a little earlier. Crucible might be really good because the portal is going to be minus 30 delta. If you come and do PvP, you'll get +2 bonus drops between 500 and 550 power. Like, look, if I do 1 class match, which takes 10 minutes, I'll get 4 drops at +2. And it means I don't need to play under leveled. I'm just fighting Guardians. So PvP could be quite goated at reset. We'll see how that plays out. Okay, and finally, what's the point in leveling up? Right, this is the final topic and we'll end it here. What's the point in being 550? Well, first point is this. This is real world advice. Please take it. Renegades is not going to be given any power bumps. So the cap for power in Renegades at Christmas will be 550 power. So basically in Renegades, you're going to be playing Renegades content. You're going to be having, at least I hope, fun. Don't subject yourself to this power level and grind at Christmas. Why don't you think about having a nice Christmas? And in order to have a nice Christmas, you should level to 550 now. Between October and November, these next 4-6 weeks, level now. Level it, do it now, get it over with. Get it over with now, so that in Christmas you don't need to put up with it. And then you're 550. The benefits of being 550 is, though, it's a secret benefit. Every seasonal event that happens, if you are 550, your stuff will be 550 from the vendor. You will be able to buy weapons at tier 5, which people are not aware of that. You need to be 550 power and Guardian rank 11, I believe, and you get liberties on seasonal events. These seasonal events are often. The next one that's coming up is Festival of Lost. So if I'm 550 for Festival of Lost, I will get bonus points and be able to get the SMG, the new kinetic SMG at tier 5 without having to actually play anything. Because I'll be able to, well, I'll have to get the mats for it. But you understand what I'm saying. So the benefit for being 550 is seasonal event gear. You can get it at tier 5. The next benefit is that you're going to be able to get your Guardian rank 11 done. So Guardian rank 11 is locked behind 550 power and the ultimate conquests as well, of course, which obviously I've got that to start doing. Once I level up, I'll be able to. But basically, if you care about Guardian rank 11, that is why you need to level up. Yeah, and there's an exclusive emblem tied to the Conqueror seal and stuff, right? I'm sure you've seen it. It's very rare emblem. So you're going to get a very rare emblem and you're going to be Guardian rank 11. And it's tied, look at this. Completing or renewing advanced ranks adds bonus drops to all portal activities. Guardian ranks is tied to the portal. It always has been. That's why when people were in Guardian rank 3 and 4, they were struggling because of it. And the next piece of thing is why you want to be leveled up is because of conquests. So conquests right now are tied behind power. So far I've done them all the way up into Hypernet. I've got Hypernet Ultimate and Nord.Override Avalon to do. Yeah, so this is it. For Grandmaster players who care about the old school Grandmasters, this is the closest thing in the game you're going to get. Ultimate Conquest Hypernet is actually more of a speedrun one and revolves around volatile shields and pressure cookers on, right? And you've got to do it in 20 minutes. So it's more of a speedrun type one. And the Ultimate Conquest, the final one, requiring 550 to reach the cap, but you can do it at 535, is basically the ultimate mode. It's the ultimate mission, basically. What I'm explaining to you is, if you don't get up, you'll never do these missions. And that's kind of a shame. I'm not saying that these are as hard as the old GMs. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that's what the game is right now. And if you don't level up, you'll never do these. So how can you criticize them if you've never done them? I mean, I know everything about these two because I've watched the footage on it, and you probably haven't. And I'm just explaining to you, well, hang on a minute. Are they that easy to solo for you? I'm not talking about me. It's about you now, not about me. So you can't say, oh, well, there's no endgame. Well, have you played it? You're 420 power. How can you say there's no endgame when you haven't got to 550? I know it's tedious. I know all about it. I'm involved within it. I've been there every day uploading. I know all about it. Talking to somebody that already knows. You're talking to the wrong man. Talk to somebody else about your complaints. I'm with you. I'm in the same boat as you. We're in the same boat. And I'm just explaining to you that you will miss out on these missions if you don't get a 550. Well, 535 technically, but I wouldn't recommend it because you're under-leveled even further for the mission. No point. Just get a 550, get a 447, and then do these missions because then you get the bonuses. I mean, does it matter as much as what it did in the past? Probably not. But, you know, that is a little bit of extra advice for leveling there. So that's my video on that for you to watch during the Destiny 2 maintenance. That's where I'll be posting it maybe slightly sooner than that. But that's the goal of the video, is just to give you some extra information. Hopefully you enjoy Reset. Hopefully we get some sort of win today, because we don't half need one. At the very minimum, we got Unstable Cause to be rolled back. So they are aware of it. That was the video on this. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.